Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that all bell notification. In that way you won't miss any time I publish a new video. Alright, so what are we going to be making today? Well, today we'll be making breadfruit empanadas. So let's get started. So I'm going to season my ground chicken now. So I'll have it marinating for a few hours. Okay, so this is it will be the filling for my empanada. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt to this. Okay, add some salt. I have about 6 seasoning peppers here. I'm going to add this to it as well. I'm going to add some onion powder to it. Okay. I have some ginger garlic paste. So I'm just going to use it off. Add that to it. I have some sofrito here. I'll leave a link in the description showing you how I made my ginger garlic paste and my sofrito. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of sofrito to it as well. I'm going to add some paprika to it. I'm going to add some ground cumin. I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm going to add a little bit of chili powder. And I have a seasoning blend here called Garlic Lovers Seasoning. I'm going to add some of that as well. Okay? All right, so let's mix everything together. All right, so here we have our seasoned ground chicken for our empanada for later. So I'm just going to cover it with some cling wrap and put it in the fridge until we're ready to cook it for later. Okay guys, so let us cook our ground chicken for our empanadas. So first I'm going to put some diced onions in here. Sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on my onions. Alright, so we'll just leave the onions here to saute for a while. Alright, so now we're going to add our ground chicken to cook. Alright, so I'm just going to leave it on one side to cook for a while and then I will flip it or stir it up and turn it over, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to turn over now my chicken. Now guys, if you have tomato paste, you could add that to it. Unfortunately, I don't have any, so I don't have any tomato paste to add to mine. So what I'm going to do is just cover this to trap all the heat in to help it to cook. Okay? Guys, so my ground chicken has been cooking for a little while. So what I'm going to do is add some frozen peas and carrots. I did have it thawing out a little bit though, so it's not completely frozen. It is at room temperature. So we're going to add this in. to our filling. So let's just cook this through. And of course, you're going to want to taste for salt to make sure that it has enough seasoning in it. And you can add whatever else you want, whether it's black pepper, or if you want it spicy, you can add cayenne pepper or chili powder. So I'm going to leave this cook completely. When I'm back, I will be showing you how to make the breadfruit dough. Okay guys, so what we're going to do, I have some breadfruit here. Now this was a whole breadfruit that I cut it in half, and then the half piece that I had, I cut it into 3 pieces. Okay, so what we're going to do is take out the heart of the breadfruit. I needed to get a pan to put my scraps. We're going to peel the breadfruit. This is actually the safest way to do it, but I tend to do it in my hand. Okay, so we're going to peel the breadfruit like this, and then we're going to put the breadfruit in this pot here with water to boil, and we're going to boil our breadfruit until it's nice and soft. Okay, I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of salt to this water for boiling the breadfruit. So let me get to cutting and peeling the rest, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so we have our breadfruit in the water here. So what we're going to do now is put it on the stove to boil, and we're going to boil this until it's fully cooked and soft. Okay guys, so here I have my cooked breadfruit. So what we're going to do now is to smash our breadfruit. Oh, it's hot. I'm going to have to leave this to cool a bit in order for me to be able to handle it. So I won't be able to put my hand in this at this point in time. It's way too hot. But at least I will smash it in the meantime. Guys, you can see how sticky it is. You'll definitely build some muscle working with this. All right, so I think this is smashed sufficiently. I'm going to allow it to cool, and then I'm going to test to see how it holds by itself. If I find that I need to add some flour, then I will do that. Of course, I'll be using my gluten-free flour. But for now, let me just, because it's too hot for me to handle at this point in time. So I'm just going to allow it to cool, and then I will come back and test the consistency of it. Okay guys, so I tasted the breadfruit and I found it needed some salt. So I'm going to be adding some kosher salt to it, and I'm going to mix it in, just to give some flavor to the breadfruit. Breadfruit tends to not have much of a flavor to it. So when you add salt, it helps to have a little flavor to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, after I felt the breadfruit, it is a bit sticky. And so that's going to make it hard for me to make my empanadas with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some flour. So I'm using gluten-free flour. You could use regular flour. And we're going to start off with small increments, 1 tablespoon at a time, and mix it in until we get to the consistency that we want, or the texture that we want. Okay? So we want to form this into a dough that we can work with. Now, like I said, this is extremely stiff. Doing this, you will build muscle. It's actually even bending my my fork here because of how stiff it is. All right, as a matter of fact, I think I'm probably just going to use my hand. I think that is going to make it easier for me to mix everything in and to feel how sticky it is, okay? So let me put this on this side. Let's put another tablespoon of flour. I'll work that in. All right, I'm just squeezing the flour through the breadfruit. And that will help take away some of the stickiness so that when I have to form it, put it in my tortilla press, it will be a little easier for me to roll the balls to do that, okay? All right. I think I could add another tablespoon. So we have 3 so far. And remember, guys, this is half of a breadfruit that I used. It's not the whole breadfruit, this was half of a breadfruit. Let's try forming one into a ball and see. It still feels sticky, it's still sticky in my hand. I don't want it to hold on to my hand too much. All right, it's getting there. I will put another tablespoon of flour. So I think this is 4 tablespoons. It's coming to come. All right, let's test here. All right, I think this is it here, guys. I think we can work with this. Or should I put just one more? All right, let me add 1 more tablespoon. All right, so that's it. We're going to work with this. Just going to keep on kneading it to work everything through. All right, there you have it, folks. Our breadfruit dough for our empanadas, all right? So let me get my tortilla press because we're gonna roll out now balls in order to make our empanadas. All right, so let's form our breadfruit balls. I have my chicken filling here that we're gonna fill with it. So we just form it into a bowl like this. Press it down. I'll press. Okay, that looks good there. Put our filling right here. Add our filling to the middle. All right, let's close this in. All right, so we're just going to take our fork and press it down like this. Come on, did I press that too hard? No, don't rip. Don't rip, don't rip. All right, there you go. All right, so there you have it, folks. Let's peel this off here. Our breadfruit empanada. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside on a plate for us to fry. Okay guys, so now it's time to fry our breadfruit empanadas. Now guys, let me just show you this. Some of them I didn't use the fork, I just rolled it back on itself to seal it. So we're going to fry our breadfruit until it's nice and golden. I poked into my empanada. Okay guys, so our breadfruit empanadas are now nice and golden, so we can remove it from our pot. We're going to just rest it on this paper towel to drain.